You choose.
I want to talk Blazers because I saw that ESPN has them winning 35 games. I'll
That's
just dive into it.
this.
That's ridiculous. So yeah, ESPN drops their Western Conference rankings, and Portland came in at number 10. My thing isn't necessarily so much the rank because you have a very loaded. Just for like an example, number 9, I believe it was the Lakers at 42 and 40. Then you had, I want to say the Wolves were in there, and the Pelicans were like the 4 playing teams. So my thing isn't with Portland. It's not the win or the ranking because I know it's a very loaded Western Conference. I know they had some defensive issues, and it's all good. But here's the thing: Damian Lillard has never, ever in his career led a team or a team that he's led in Portland to below 500. So 35 wins, absolute bull. I see that Vegas has, according to Eric Brandt, at Blazers Uprise, I'm pretty sure he said it like Vegas has him at like 40.5 for a lot of this Vegas or for the next season. Jesus. And I would hammer that over, not financial advice, but I remember doing this stuff last season with Toronto, and I remember Toronto was at, I want to say 34.5, and hearing that, it was like, Vegas, you have Toronto at 34.5. Like, please let me go bet the house on this because that is free money. So I think it's free money with Portland again next season. I have much better expectations. They'll be like
so do I.
seed.
Okay, I was thinking they're at least a 45 win team. I think they could even beat 50 win. First off, Chauncey Billups comes from, Ty Lue. So I'm saying them starting to. Yeah, so I think we're going to see a little bit of like Clippers space ball out here. Like Joseph Nurkic and Drew Eubanks is going to be like how Zubac and Hardenstein were used for the Clippers. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to run Jeremy Grant at power forward, use him kind of like a Robert Covington was last year for the Clips and how it worked out. Kind of funny that they traded Robert Covington to the Clips. And then I truly believe you look at this roster, small forward, I'm thinking they run Josh Hart. Okay, and I personally think Anthony Simons should be the 6th man, and very few Trailblazers agree with me because I think they have no shot creation off the bench, and I think if they had Anthony Simons as the 6th man, they could have shot creation off the bench, and that way they can run Gary Payton II at shooting guard and Damian Lillard there, and you have actually a really good fucking defensive, starting lineup. But a lot of people are like, you're not paying Anthony Simons $25 million a year for him to come off the bench, so I guess you run Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard, Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Joseph Nurkic, run off the bench, Gary Payton, Nazir Little, Eubanks, and I guess Justice Winslow, something along those lines. Because I don't see Shadon Sharp playing much his rookie year. Like, he'll be a bench guy. Same Keon Johnson and Trenton Watford might get more playing, and Nazir Little will all get more playing time. Maybe even Greg Brown. Like, I think they're going to bring on Shadon Sharp really slow. This is a win now roster. You don't play Shadon Sharp much. Is that rude for me to think? Like, I just think unless he comes out and he's just like somehow could be like a solid 15-20 minutes a night, come in, just drop 9 points on like 40% 3-point shooting in 15 minutes, dish out like 3 assists and grab like 4 boards. Cool, that'd be awesome if he could do that, but I don't think he will be. Am I wrong for thinking that, like, that they're not going to play Shadon?
I think in theory it makes sense, but I think Shadon's going to be the type of guy where once he starts playing, it's going to be like, damn it, we can't not play him.
So like an Anthony Edwards?
I think it'll just come down to, especially in preseason, hopefully he's no issues like Summer League, and he just plays well, and you're like, yeah, we have to play this guy. I have some differences with my starting lineup because I used to think that Hart should be the starter, and that a lot of Blazers fans kind of pointed me in the direction of, so you'll have Dame be the point guard and you'll have Anthony come in at the 2.
So you think Anthony starts?
Yeah, but the thing is, you're only playing Anthony like 3 minutes until he gets subbed out. So
Why?
then, so he can come in with the second unit.
Okay, so you're just
So
starting him to start him because
yeah, he's starting and finishing these games, but I would run him a lot with that second unit, or they'll run it. They'll find a good blend. And then at the three, I'd go Nazir Little just because he's a better defender. He's more versatile, not versatile. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, Josh Hart can do a lot on the defensive end, but
switchable.
yeah, maybe that's the better word. He's like, I don't know. Nazir Little he's a really solid defender, and Josh Hart's kind of that jack of all trades who can do a little bit of everything. So I guess the move is to give
I
him
think they're
25, 35 a night off the bench.
okay. So it comes down if Josh Hart can recreate the scoring ability that he displayed last season at the end of the year, where what was he averaging like 19, 20 a game to close out the year? He was literally like averaging 19 and 9. It was unreal, looking like a two-way guy. I mean, everybody was out for the Blazers
He
at
was
that point.
balling his ass off.
So one could argue that like he was the only one who could score. But if they have faith that he can have that similar shot creation off the bench, then you would put Josh Hart off the bench, start Nazir Little. Also, if you have faith that Nazir Little can do that, because things people don't realize, Nazir Little, Josh Hart, similar frame, 6'5", Nazir's 220, Josh Hart's 215. So. And I don't know who has the bigger wingspan. I want to say Josh Hart, but I wouldn't be surprised. Little, you think? I mean, Josh Hart's the better rebounder. Josh Hart's like you said, jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife. Nazir Little, your hopes is if he can develop into a similar player of a jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife type guy who has more athleticism. So I think you're right there. Then Jeremy Grant, I don't know who the fuck's going to back him up. Are you really believing Trenton Watford's going to do that? Do you believe, Jabari Walker got a lot of hype, but like you said, Trenton Watford's probably gonna have to. He wasn't bad last year. I really thought he was solid. I enjoyed him. I like Drew Eubanks. I love Drew Eubanks. I think Joseph Nurkic and Drew Eubanks great. Drew Eubanks averaged literally a double-double last year for the Trailblazers after getting waived by the Spurs, and Spurs faithful liked him. Unless Greg Brown and I guess Trenton Watford are going to duke it out for backup power forward behind Jeremy Grant. Greg Brown III out of Texas, I saw him play, freak athlete. And he's a guy who was actually supposed to be a lottery pick, fell to the second round because he was dog shit at fucking Texas. And then you go at the guard position. That's where it's weird. Like, because Josh Hart can play some backup shooting guard, but behind Anthony Simons and Damian Lillard, they put Brandon Williams, who was their best point. Actually, Chris Dunn was their best point guard last year, and Brandon Williams and Chris Dunn were like the two guys who played point for them. And I'm surprised only Brandon was brought back. And Gary Payne's there to back up Keon, but he's more of a shooting guard. He's not a point guard. Somebody told me I was lying. But I was like, bro, since the scouting combine started recording verticals, Keon Johnson has the highest vertical in NBA history. And so I was like, Michael Jordan does. I'm like, there isn't any measurement of Michael Jordan's actual vertical at a combine. So like, and I'm pretty sure when I Googled it, Keon Johnson and Michael Jordan both had a 48-inch vertical. They have the same verticals. Fuck you, guy. Whoever commented that. But what is your bench? This is like, I think the starting lineup of this team. Joseph Nurkic, Jeremy Grant, Nazir Little, Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard, Gary Payton, Josh Hart, Drew Eubanks. They have like 8 good players, and that's where the roster falls off. And like, I know you can already talk about 6 and 7. 7 and 8, it's a little rough, but they have a solid 6 to 8 players on this team that makes me feel faithful that they can be, at least an 8th seed, but I think they could be even the 6th seed with a fully healthy Damian Lillard. And if Anthony Simons replicates next year and if Jeremy Grant can continue what he did. Sorry for rambling so much. I just wanted to. What's your thoughts?
My bench is probably some type of combo set with Simons and Peyton. I got Hart in there, and I'll go. I'm not sure how I feel about Eubanks. I'd probably go Shea and Watford. I think Watford did a phenomenal job last season for him. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't want to call it necessarily a fall off, but there's a bunch of different options that you have. And I mean, like, yeah, you were right about Josh Hart averaging 20 points, 25 and 4.5 with some steals, shooting 37% from downtown in the 13 games he played for Portland. So, maybe he eventually gets that starting job, but I think you put him on the bench.
In hopes he can replicate that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you hope. To me, the bigger thing is defense. Any team with Damian Lillard, I don't think you're going to struggle much with offense. So you got Dame, you got Simons, you got Grant right there. That's 20 any given night. So
Drew Eubanks shot 64.6% from the field on 9.6 attempts per game. He averaged 14.5 points a game. Okay, half a block, about a steal a game, 8.5 rebounds in about 29.5 minutes a night.
So, all right, here's the thing with Eubanks, because I'm Team Eubanks, but his tenure in
and he's from Oregon State. Guess where he went to college? Oregon fucking State. Hometown boy. You can't cheer for that.
Well, he had a 123 defensive rating with the Blazers. So really? that's the thing. He had a 108.3. Yeah, that was the thing. He had a 108.3 with San Antonio. So the thought is maybe with a better defensive squad, you have, because Portland was right there with my dog shit Rockets defensively. I believe they gave up the most 30-point games in NBA history. What was his Spurs one again?
Was he like league average? So a little bit, barely above, like 109.
108.3 is fine.
Yeah, 109's league average.
Portland would take that, but yeah, that's the 123 is. But I see a similar situation to what we saw with Karl Anthony Towns 2 years ago before he had wing defenders, before Ant breaks out, like Ant's rookie season before Bev gets there.
Yeah,
you'd have they had terrible wing defense, so you just blow right by him, and yeah, it's all up to Karl Anthony Towns.
I really think, like I said earlier, I think Nurkic is going to play the Zubac role now, and then Eubanks will play the Hardenstein role of last year. And I swear this team will probably run sometimes either Watford or Jeremy Grant at center, and they'll probably run lineup. They'll go lineups where it's like either Grant or Watford at center, and then you run Hart, Simons, and either Payton and Lillard. Yeah, you run a 3-guard lineup of Lillard, Payton, and Simons. Then you throw Grant and whoever the fuck, Shea or Nazir Little or Hart. Honestly, Hart and Grant at the front court. Yeah, that'd be sick. Grant and Hart as your power forward and center when you want to go small. Freaking probably Gary Payton at small forward. Anthony Simons at shooting guard. Damian Lillard at point, and you just play space ball like the Mavs did and the Clippers have done in the past. Just hell shooting right there. Oh my God. I don't think some teams could keep up with the speed on that team on transition.
Yeah, so they double down big time on small ball.
Yeah, that's what I think they're going to do.